Hello and good evening, everyone. I hope you all are fit and healthy. And even though everything has opened, you all are taking all precautions from the virus because the virus has not yet gone. It is just on a pause, right? So we have to still take all precautions. Yes, go out for dinners, go out, but that doesn't mean going out and going for dinners that you should not take all precautions. I hope you all can understand that there's a difference of going out and eating. So I have seen few people on the road eating pani puris, and the person who is serving the pani puri man, he is actually giving pani puri with his bare hands. So he's not worn gloves or anything. So please, please, it's a kind request that do not eat pani puris from the road where the person is not taking any precautions. This is not the time that was before, right? That we can go out and eat pani puri, chaat masala, everything on the road. So if you want to have pani puris or anything, okay, you can make it at home. Take a packet of the puri and make the water at home, or just take the water, no problem, because he'll serve with a spoon and put it in a bag, right? So you can eat it at home, but to stand there and eat with, like, he's serving you all and you're eating there, there's no point, right? You can serve yourself at home. You can do the self service at home. The same pani puri you can eat at home. What's the use of just eating pani puri at once with so much of dirt and so much of unhygienic ways? I mean, so many unhygienic ways, and tend to fall sick. This is not the right time to fall sick. So this was my observation in the last few days. So I thought I would like to share it with you all so that people who are not aware of it will be aware of it. And the people who are doing it, at least they'll have a pause in their habits and change their habits. I'm not telling that do not eat, but eat in a smart way. So yeah, if you're going to restaurants and all, no problem, because you sit there, you wash your hands and all, and you are going to serve yourself, and there's a spoon, right? So restaurants are okay, still okay. Take all precautions, but if you all can eat at home, have a healthy diet at home, no problem. But I know I can understand after so long lockdown and not eating from out, people have actually jumped up into the restaurants, and my god, I know they're actually jumping up, and they're as if everyone has become a jungle. So yeah, including me, even I ate once or twice from a restaurant, but I took a parcel. I do not go into the restaurant because I'm still really scared. But later on, yes, I will go to a restaurant where I'll take all precautions and eat. So please eat pani puris, but taking all due precautions. Moving forward, we had finished the lecture of grammar in the last topic of punctuation. So there were a lot of parts of punctuation where we covered all the parts of punctuation. Now we're moving forward with another topic of grammar. So I would like to show you all that in the book that I already showed you all that I'm referring, there is a chapter. I mean, we have finished with prose pieces. That is a lesson my father taught me. Toasted English. That was another prose. Then we jumped up to stories, that is the short stories. We did the romance of a busy broker and the open window. So after that, I took a short break. So I have actually finished these two parts, and now we'll be doing the poetry, but not now, as I am doing a lot of grammar topics in the middle, and then we'll later on go to poetry, because jumping directly to poetry without knowing at least the basic grammar, covering up the grammar, it's pointless, because poetry has a lot of figure of speech and a lot of grammar part in it. So even though it looks like a song, or it sounds like a song, but there is a lot of rhyme scheme and grammar into it. So before we jump up to stories, I mean the poetries, I would like to cover up a little grammar topics with you all, and then we will slowly go to poetry. What is the hurry in going to poetry, right? We should understand the poetry. Otherwise, just reading, or reading this like a person who is not understanding anything, uh, doesn't make any point. So whenever you all are reading anything. I want you all to know the meaning of it. Now, even when we are reading religious books like Gita, Bible, Quran, or any other religious book, we, the books are in a particular language, right? So it comes like some are in Sanskrit, some are in Arabic, or the Latin English, the olden English. So if you are not understanding in that language, please do read it in English or in your mother tongue, whichever you understand more properly, so that you get the understanding of what is written. To read something, yes, you have to read it in the pure language that the text was written, but it is more important to understand what is the meaning, right? And how we have to apply that meaning that is given in our religious books, how we have to apply it in our life, in our problems. So I would just like to raise one point here, that please do read the books with meanings. Any books that you'll read, or any poetry, a song, any religious book, or anything, a book on business, a book on communication. But do understand what is written. Just don't read blankly. It will give you no purpose. There'll be no purpose of reading, or there will be no advantage. So if you'll want the advantage, and if you'll want the skill in you, and if you like reading books, so please do read anything. Even though you are reading religious books, read it with the meaning, so that you will know what is written in our religious books. So with this, I actually come to a movie that I recently watched. So it was a movie of Toilet. The name of the movie is Toilet. So I imagine everyone must have seen it. It is of Akshay Kumar and some new actress. I don't know her name. So it is a very meaningful movie. The movie has released long time back, but I recently saw it. I did not watch the movie when it got released. Yes, I had heard a lot of things about the movie, but I recently watched it. So I thought of sharing that with you all. So the main concept of the movie is the people's thinking, the thinking of the people, right? In the movie, he keeps on saying, how will I change the thinking? I mean, soch. लोगों की सोच कैसे बदलूं? So to construct one little toilet in the house is an easy thing, but how to change the thinking of people? If the thinking is bad and very narrow, how will good things happen, or a change will happen for the good? So in that movie, it is shown that to read all the religious books in the meaning form. So it is written in Sanskrit, and people actually start explaining him in a very, a different way. People don't understand what is written in Sanskrit, so they just add up their own things. But the real thing is something else. So some things are different. So you should read the any book. I'm not talking about religions, but I'm talking about any book. You can actually read it in your own mother tongue, or the language that you understand, or probably in English, so that you'll have two benefits. You will also understand, I mean, you will also have a gist of English, and also read books. Even though you all are not reading books, you can put, all these things in. On YouTube, you can just put the topic on YouTube, and just play it with meaning, or with translation. So you can put any form or any poetry there, and just write a translation. So even though we're doing the poetry part here, and you'll want to see the poetry on Google or on YouTube, you can go and put the poetry name over there, and write there, suppose the first poetry is I mean, another poetry I would like to share with you all. The world is too much with us. So, suppose this is the title of the poetry. So, you can put the name of the poetry and write with translation. Now, translation means English, it's already in English. So, you can write with proper meanings, so that you understand the real meaning of the story. Okay, now a lot of communication is already done with us. So let us start with the topic of grammar that I was supposed to start after the punctuation. And punctuation was a vast topic of grammar. Let's move forward to another topic that I had promised you all in the few lectures that I did previously. So I'll share my screen to tell you which is the topic of grammar that we're going to do today. Okay, there we go. So by the time I just, put the put this slide into slideshow, you'll already know the chapter's name. So we are going to do grammar topic, and the topic's name is adjectives. So obviously, many of you all know what are adjectives. We'll go in further detailing of the topic. So to start with, what are adjectives? Adjectives are words that describes the nouns. Whatever nouns, we've already covered the topic of nouns. So please, who have not watched the videos, go back and watch the videos on nouns. And the proper noun, collective noun, there are many nouns that we did, common noun, so abstract noun, and all these nouns that we've done. What are adjectives? It describes something more about the noun. Suppose for example, I'm taking a noun, proper noun, so I'm using a name. So if I'm saying Ria, so it's a proper noun. Now what is adjective? Ria is very beautiful. So an adjective is to describe the noun. The noun is Ria, that is the proper noun, and beautiful is the description of Ria. How she is beautiful. So that becomes an adjective. Now, adjectives answer such questions as what kind, which one, how many. So, what kind? What kind of girl she is? She's a beautiful girl. So, this is the way adjectives actually describe the noun. They tell something more about the noun, something in detail about the noun. The noun can be proper, common, abstract, any noun. So, we've done nouns. So, whenever you get a sentence, you have to first look for the noun. Once you got what is the noun, you have to see now, if it's a proper noun, what is the description of this noun? If it's a common noun, what is it like? The teachers. The teachers are very busy nowadays. So teacher is the common noun, and busy is describing the teachers that they are busy. So busy becomes the adjectives. So first thing when you want to see adjectives, you have to see nouns. So nouns and adjectives are something that is connected. You cannot separate them, right? So noun, whenever you get a sentence, you actually first have to look for the noun. Once you got whatever noun is there in the sentence, then just see what is describing that noun, and there you get the adjectives. So now there's a list of adjectives here. The adjectives can be used to describe color. So suppose color like blue, red, green, brown, purple, yellow, black, any color. So how will you describe? How will color be described? So suppose it is a common noun, for example, a pilot. Okay, a pilot is a common noun, can be male, female, anything. So a pilot wears his uniform in white. So the pilot is a common noun. White is the color that he wears. That is description about the pilot. So there you know what is the description of colors. Another thing, opinion. So just now I explained you Ria is beautiful. So Ria is the proper noun, and beautiful is actually her description, right? So here again, there's a description of opinion. Example, good, pretty, she's good, she's pretty, she's right, she's wrong, she's funny, she's light, she's happy. So anything it can be. Or this girl is always happy. So girl is a common noun. Happy is the description about the girl. So happy becomes the adjective. Now it can also be in size. So if you say India is a big country. India is a proper noun. Big is the description of India. So adjectives become big. The adjective word in the sentence becomes big or small or long or short, anything. It can also depend on the age. Now, if you say, my grandfather is quite old. Grandfather is a proper noun, not a proper noun, sorry, it is a common noun. And old is actually the description, he's very old. Then another thing is shape. Round, triangle, rectangle, square, oval. It can be anything, quadrilateral, any type of shape. So why shapes here? Because shape is also describing something, right? The ball is round in shape. Ball is a common noun, and shape is the type of, how its description is. It is round in shape. So adjectives again, shape, it comes into shape. Then origin, from where the person is, India, German, Malaysia, any place. The materials also come into adjectives such as glass, metal. So if I say the house is made of glass, wow, that is so wonderful. So the house is made of glass. Now, house is a common noun and it's made of glass. So the description of the house is given, how beautiful the house is. It is made of glass. So glass becomes the adjective describing something about the house. That is the common noun. Now, it can be made of metal, not a house, but anything else can be made of a metal. So, even practicals actually describe, sorry, even materials can be kept as adjectives. Now, it again goes to distance. The road is really long. That means the road is the common noun, and they've not described which road, right? MG Road or Lakshmi Road. So it's only a road, common. It's common. It's not proper. So long is the description of the road. So that's why long becomes adjective. So short, near, far, all these comes under adjectives. Now even temperature, the water is hot. So water is a noun and hot becomes the description of the noun. Then time, that he's late, he's early. So that becomes the adjectives. So there we have seen all the type of adjectives. So let's start with color, opinion, size, age, shape, origin, material, distance, temperature, time. So there are 10 that I have stated. There are many more actually, but these are the first important 10 ones that I have put. So adjectives are something that describes. So these are the 10 things that gives a description about something. So I've put these 10. Let's move forward to the types of adjectives. Now, how many types of adjectives are there? Oh, there are quite many. There are 7 types of adjectives. The first one is qualitative, that is the descriptive adjective. Qualitative, quantitative, demonstrative, possessive, interrogative, distributive, compound. So the 7 types of adjectives are there: qualitative, quantitative. Now with the name, you can little bit understand what it is. Quality, that gives the description of the quality. Quantitative, that gives the description about the number, quantity. Demonstrated, to describe something. Possessive, something that shows about your own things. Interrogative, that is a question mark, some adjective that shows a question. Distributive, that shows many numbers. Compound, maybe two things are added. So I am just giving you a small gist about what we are going to do forward, right? Now let's start with the first one, that is qualitative, also known as descriptive adjectives, to describe the quality of a person or a thing. For example, its size, shape, normally the physical characteristics, age, shape, color, material, origin, and purpose. All this comes into the quality of a person. Qualitative, that means the quality of the person. The girl is beautiful, the boy is handsome, he is tall, she's excellent, she's slim, she's young, the thing is in square shape, or it's made of plastic. So, for example, the tall girl is my classmate. So, girl is the noun. What is the description of the noun? Girl is tall. So tall is the qualitative adjective. So tall becomes the qualitative adjective here. Another example, the students achieved excellent results. What is the noun in this? I already told you, we have to strike the noun first. So the noun is students, right? Common noun. And what did they do? excellent results. What type of results? Excellent. So he has given excellent result. It's something, the quality. So the quality of his result was excellent. So that is why it comes into qualitative adjectives. Let's move forward to quantitative adjectives. What do you mean by quantity? I just told you. Quantity means number. Whatever comes into number. Now, number, that does not only mean that it has to be there is one apple kept. So one is a number, so it comes into quantity. Yes, it does come. One apple, it comes into quantitative adjectives. But it does not only require to have 1, 2, 3, 4 or only numbers there. Number can also be shown into many more words such as some, much, little. There's little sugar. It's enough. Don't put more than three spoons of sugar. It's enough. Enough means done. All of us, showing the quantity. There, if suppose there are 10 people in a house, I'm saying all of us. So the all is actually showing the number. The whole world. So the number of people on the world, on the globe. Several things. Several also comes many. So these are all examples to show quantitative adjectives. So quantity does not only mean, some students actually say that only if there's 1, 2, 3, 4 or numbers put into the sentence, it is quantity. So this is the common mistake made. There are many more things that comes into quantity. And those examples are given here, so you all can actually keep them in mind. There are many more. Some, much, little, enough, all, no, any, whole, several. I was very fast. So let's move forward to some examples. She found many pens under the table. Many. So many becomes the quantitative adjectives because many is the number. So there was no milk in the jug. No. So that shows number, right? There was little milk, there was more milk, enough milk, or no milk. So no becomes the quantitative adjective. The third example, there are 37 students in this class. So here directly the number is given. In the first two examples, they have actually twisted the way the number is given. So not necessarily there'll be 37, 27, 24, 23 numbers. So they can twist and turn the quantity in different forms, not necessarily the numbers. So the third example is a direct example of quantitative adjective as it has a number in it, number 37. So there are 37 students in this class. 37 becomes the quantitative adjectives. Now here, I have actually completed with you all two types of adjectives, and that is the qualitative adjective and the qualitative adjective and the quantitative adjective. In the next lecture, we will see other adjectives, that is demonstrative, possessive, interrogative, distributive, compound. So we will be covering the other adjectives in the coming session. So for now, we have finished this lecture. I hope you all actually understood the basic thing of adjectives, what they are, and the types, only the names that I mean. So, what are adjectives? Something that is describing a noun is adjective. And the types of adjectives are seven, and just remember the names of them. And then in the coming lecture, we will do in full detailing all the type of adjectives, and we will cover up the chapter, I mean the session of adjectives. This is how you all will actually know. Many of you all will be knowing what are adjectives, but with this, we will be moving into more detailing. And henceforth, when we are doing poetry and all, and if there is a description about some person in it, so we will understand it is a sentence of adjectives. So you all should be that quick in grammar. Okay. Thank you so much, everyone. I hope you all enjoyed the session. Let's meet in the next session. By the time, take care of yourself.